With me now is Margaret McCuaid-Johnston, Board Director of the China Strategic Risks Institute. Margaret, good evening and thank you for your time.
Thanks for inviting me.
So lots on the agenda for the Prime Minister while dealing with China. But what do you think needs to be Canada's top priority in times of such economic and geopolitical chaos?
Well, I think it's to restart the relationship and also to address the really serious problem that our canola farmers have. The country of China has really tried to have a policy extortion racket where they're trying to change our policy on EVs by victimizing our prairie farmers, and that's really been very difficult for them. So it'd be great if he could address that.
Okay, so we know that this is Canada's effort to sort of reset relations with China. Is this a visionary reset, a pivot, or do you think it's a dangerous gamble that risks a deeper rift with our most vital ally, the US?
Well, it depends on how we handle it. If we're going to solve the canola challenge, I think we should be putting on the table something that China wants instead of EVs, because bringing in Chinese EVs by dropping the tariff, or even worse, manufacturing them here, would give China a foothold in North America. And that's what they're really looking for. That's the big prize for them. And that would be an own goal if you're talking about the USMCA negotiations. And that's not something we want to do to ourselves. So we should be putting something on the table like conventional energy, more Chinese investment in conventional energy. That's an area where Canada is taking on major new projects, part of Canada Build, as the Canadian government has been laying it out. And so that's an area where I think we could safely partner with China without risking the data and other problems of EVs.
You know, the question that everybody also seems to be asking is, Margaret, how vigilant Canada needs to be while engaging with China as its own citizens here are subjected to transnational repression and harassment by state-backed proxies on Canadian soil. And this assessment, of course, as we know, has been done by CSIS.
That's right. And in fact, the problems there are getting bigger, not going away at all. And China, the official line is, we're not doing any of that. So, you know, it's not much of a discussion when we raise it, but we do need to raise it. The timing for this trip is really difficult because Jimmy Lai, the media tycoon in Hong Kong, who has deep business and family ties in Canada, is being sentenced in court tomorrow, Monday. And so that's right before the Prime Minister's visit. And that's a real loss of face to Canada, if you think about it, because he's really, you know, his family is here, and this is not something that Canada would like to see at all. We would like to see him released, but I don't think the Prime Minister can say, we want Jimmy Lai released. Now let's talk about trade. You know, it has to be a serious discussion of what's happening with him. We have to also remember that last year, 4 Chinese Canadians were executed in China on drug charges at the same time as they imposed those canola tariffs. And so it was seen, those executions were seen as retaliation for the EV tariff that Canada put on a few months before that. And that's despicable to be having relations with a country like that.
Yeah. Challenging times for sure, but we'll have to leave it at that tonight. Margaret McCuaid-Johnston, appreciate your time and expertise. Thank you.